Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends who maybe came here tired, maybe came here hungry for something, maybe came here broken, I want to start this by saying, you are stronger than you think. And I don't mean that in the cheesy motivational poster way. I don't mean it like a line printed on a coffee mug with a sunrise behind it. I mean it in the way that if I stripped away every single thing you've got, your job, your money, your friends, your reputation, your comfort, there is still a spark inside of you that refuses to die. That spark? That's your mental strength. And today, we're going to talk about how to find it, how to protect it, and how to let it set fire to your life. Most people think strength looks like muscles, or success, or money, or fame. But I've seen millionaires who couldn't handle rejection. I've seen bodybuilders who crumbled the second someone told them no. I've seen people with all the outer strength in the world, but none of the inner toughness, and they folded faster than paper in the rain. Real strength? Mental strength? It's invisible. It's what happens when the world knocks you down, and you stand up, even if your knees are shaking. It's what happens when the voice in your head says, you can't do this, and you answer, watch me. Let me tell you a story. A few years ago, I hit what you could call a breaking point. You know the kind. The kind where the weight of life is so heavy you can barely breathe. The kind where you wake up tired and go to bed even more tired, but not because of work, because of thinking, because of worry, because of feeling like you're not enough. I was drowning in responsibilities, bills stacking up, relationships falling apart, feeling like I was failing everyone, especially myself. And then, life threw another punch. I lost someone I loved. It felt like the universe had decided I was its punching bag. And I'll be honest with you, I sat in my room one night, staring at the wall, wondering what the point of anything was. That's when I realized something. Mental strength isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, usually when life gives you no other choice. That night, I said to myself, you've got two options, stay down or get up. No one's coming to save you. You are your own rescue mission. And that was the start. Not the start of success, not the start of joy, not the start of peace, but the start of the climb. And let me tell you something, the climb is where you get strong. Mental strength is not forged in comfort. It's not built in the sunshine. It's built in the storms, in the nights when you're crying alone, in the mornings when you don't want to get out of bed, but you drag yourself up anyway. Think about this. Every hero you've ever admired, every story that inspired you, every person you've ever looked at and thought, wow, they're strong. None of them became that way through an easy life. Not one. They became strong because they faced what would break most people, and they chose to fight back. And the climb, it never feels glamorous. You won't feel like a hero while you're climbing. You'll feel tired. You'll feel doubtful. You'll question yourself 1,000 times. But every step you take, every small victory, that's you stacking bricks in the foundation of your mental fortress. Now, let's talk about the lies people believe about mental strength. Because if we're going to build it, we've got to clear the junk first. Lie number 1. Strong people don't feel pain. Wrong. Strong people feel everything. They cry. They bleed. They hurt just like anyone else. The difference is, they don't let pain be the period at the end of their story. They turn it into a comma and keep writing. Lie number 2. Mental strength means going alone. No. Lone wolves starve. Mental strength isn't refusing help. It's knowing when to reach out. It's saying, I need a hand, without shame, and then standing up again. Lie number 3. You're either strong or you're weak, and that's it. That's garbage. Strength is a muscle. And like any muscle, it grows with training, with repetition, with struggle. You weren't born weak, and you weren't born strong. You were born capable of becoming both. What you feed grows. I want you to imagine something right now. Imagine you're standing at a crossroads. On one side is the easy path, comfort, excuses, distractions. It's soft. It feels good in the moment. Netflix binges, endless scrolling, hiding from your problems. On the other side is the hard path, facing your fears, confronting your demons, doing the work you don't want to do. That path, it's steep, it's ugly, it's lonely sometimes. But here's the truth. Only the hard path leads to strength. Every day, you're making that choice. Every small decision is a brick. Skip the workout? One brick on the weak side. Do the workout even when you're tired? One brick on the strong side. Avoid the hard conversation? Brick on the weak side. Face it head on. Brick on the strong side. And here's the crazy thing. You don't feel the difference in one day, or two, or even a week. But over months, over years, suddenly, you look back and you've built either a prison of weakness or a fortress of strength. And you did it brick by brick, choice by choice. Now let's talk about the real battlefield, your mind. Because let's be honest, most of us aren't fighting the world, we're fighting ourselves. That little voice inside your head that whispers, you can't, you're not good enough. Who do you think you are? That voice. That's not you. That's fear. That's insecurity. That's the echo of every failure you've ever had. And if you let it, it will run your life. But mental strength is about talking back. About saying, maybe I'm not enough today, but I'm working on it. Maybe I'm scared, but I'm not stopping. Maybe I've failed, but I'm not finished. Let me tell you about some people. Not celebrities. Not superheroes. Real people. There was a woman I knew, single mom, 3 kids, working 2 jobs. She barely slept. She cried in the shower so her kids wouldn't see. And every morning, she got up, made breakfast, and kept going. That's strength. There was a guy I met at the gym. Overweight, insecure, embarrassed. People stared at him. He kept showing up, day after day, even when the results were slow. A year later, he was unrecognizable. Not just his body, but his confidence, his light. That's strength. And maybe the strongest person I ever met was a teenager. He was battling cancer. His body was weak, his hair was gone, but he smiled more than anyone in the room. He told me, I don't know how much time I've got, but I'm gonna make it good. That's strength. You see, strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it's just showing up when everything in you wants to stay down. So here's my question to you. What's your fire? What's the thing inside you that refuses to quit? Maybe you've buried it under years of doubt. Maybe you've let the world convince you you're not capable. Maybe you've been living small because you're scared of failing big. But I'm telling you, your fire is still there. And it's time to light it. Because mental strength isn't about being fearless. It's about being scared and doing it anyway. It's about taking hits and saying, is that all you've got? It's about looking at life's storms and saying, I bend, but I don't break. I want to challenge you. Not tomorrow, not next week, but today. Do something hard. Something you don't want to do. Something that makes your mind scream, no way. And then do it anyway. Because every time you push past that voice, you're rewiring your brain. You're teaching yourself, I can handle this. I am stronger than I thought. Maybe it's getting up an hour earlier. Maybe it's finally starting that project you've been putting off. Maybe it's having the conversation you've been avoiding. Whatever it is, do it. And when you do, celebrate it. Not with arrogance, but with quiet pride. That's another brick on the strong side. Got it? Thumbs up. You want me to expand this speech with 20 more long, powerful sentences in the same style, emotional, informal, story-driven. I'll write them so each one feels like it could stand alone as a piece of motivational fire, but together they'll flow with the theme of mental strength. Here they are. Mental strength isn't about how many times life knocks you down, but about how many times you crawl back up even when your legs are shaking and your pride is in pieces. There will be nights when the silence in your room feels louder than any crowd. And it's in those nights that you'll either surrender to the darkness or discover the tiny ember inside you that refuses to go out. The strongest people you'll ever meet aren't the ones who never cry. They're the ones who wipe their tears, straighten their back, and still walk into the storm because they know quitting won't save them. Every challenge you face is either a weight that crushes you or a weight that builds your muscle. And the choice of which one it becomes is entirely yours. When you look in the mirror and see someone broken, remember that broken bones heal stronger at the fracture, and so do broken souls if you don't give up on them. Sometimes strength doesn't look like shouting, winning, or running fast. Sometimes it looks like whispering to yourself, one more day, one more step, one more try, until eventually you believe it. The voice in your head that tells you you can't is just the ghost of every past failure, and the only way to silence it is to prove it wrong with action, not words. The climb will always feel impossible at the beginning, but somewhere halfway up, you'll turn around, see how far you've come, and realize you are already someone you once prayed to be. Real mental strength isn't built on winning all the time. It's built on losing, learning, bleeding, and then daring to step back into the arena anyway. People will doubt you, laugh at you, dismiss you, and sometimes even root for your failure. But when you keep moving forward despite all of it, you build a kind of armor no insult can pierce. The fire inside you is not meant to stay small, but the world will try to smother it with fear, comfort, and distraction, and only you can keep it alive by feeding it discipline and courage. The people who inspire us most are never the ones who had perfect lives, but the ones who turn their wounds into wisdom and their pain into power. You cannot wait for confidence to appear before you act. Courage is moving forward while afraid, and confidence is simply the reward that comes afterward. The strongest version of you is not the one who has everything together, but the one who keeps going even when everything is falling apart. Mental strength is forged not in the good days, but in the mornings you drag yourself out of bed when you'd rather stay under the covers, and the nights you fight through tears to finish what you started. One day, you'll look back on the battles you thought would break you and realize they were actually the training grounds that made you unbreakable. So let me leave you with this. Life will break your heart. It will break your plans. It will break your expectations. But it cannot break your spirit unless you let it. That's the secret. You are unbreakable if you decide to be. And when the world looks at you, I don't want them to see someone who never struggled. I want them to see someone who struggled like hell and kept going. Someone who built strength not because life was easy, but because it was hard. Someone who took pain and turned it into power. That someone is you. So stand up, lift your head, tighten your fists if you have to, and tell the world, I am stronger than this. I will not quit. I will climb. I will rise. And I will burn bright. Thank you.